Welcome to the Sahel region of Africa. Since the 1970s, this region south of the Sahara has faced severe desertification, turning once fertile land into a dry, barren extension of the African desert's sandy dunes. An estimated 650,000 square kilometers of productive agricultural land has already been lost in the region, with that number only expected to grow as climate change worsens in the future. This isn't a problem confined to Africa, though. In Asia, too, the arable land around the Gobi Desert has been undergoing desertification at the pace of 3,600 square kilometers of grassland per year, causing severe sandstorms and reducing the region's annual food production. The dust kicked up by these sandstorms gets carried by the winds, too, affecting the neighboring countries of Japan, Korea, and Mongolia. And globally, over 2 billion people live in vulnerable regions like dry grasslands, with the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification reporting that 90% of land globally may experience the phenomenon by 2050. So why is this happening? Although desertification is a natural phenomenon driven by a combination of wind erosion and droughts, anthropogenic activities, both indirectly and directly, have significantly worsened the rate at which it spreads. Unsustainable land practices in the area, namely overgrazing and overextraction of groundwater, reflect a daunting amplification of the issue, depriving the soil of its nutrients and reducing its integrity. And on the global scale, as climate change worsens and fluctuations in climate patterns become increasingly common, ecosystems unable to thrive in a wider range of tolerance will become more susceptible to desertification.
This rapid desertification has already manifested itself in a variety of harmful ways. In arid lands, fine sand particles can travel for thousands of kilometers, worsening both local and global air quality. The health ramifications of this are substantial considering the estimated 400 million people that currently live in the region and are forced to breathe this polluted air. In addition to this, the reduction in soil quality that accompanies desertification severely reduces agricultural output, which threatens food security. Essential crops like millet and chickpeas that support the region's large population can no longer survive in such a nutrient-depleted environment and can therefore no longer feed the population that relies on these crops to stay alive. Forced migration is a common response to food scarcity, but considering that over 75% of the people in the Sahel region live in poverty, fleeing this situation simply is not feasible. Millions of citizens are currently being forced to live in a food desert that's being caused by a real desert.
Parce que d'habitude, vous voyez avec le problème, c'est l'herbe qui est l'exigence. Puisque puis ici, les populations, ils ont plus leur priorité, c'est dans les animaux. Maintenant, et les enfants sont obligés d'être avec leurs parents. Nous aussi, on n'a pas les moyens de retenir les enfants. Bon, c'est ça. Maintenant, vu cela, l'école a été fermée. La dernière fois que l'école a été fermée, c'était en 2006.
So what is being done about this? In 2007, environmentalists embarked on a journey to restore the Sahel region to its original state, an initiative that has been dubbed the Great Green Wall of Africa. Combining agroforestry with other resource conservation methods, the Great Green Wall has restored 20 million hectares of land as of 2023.
Nous avons à peu près 35 000 hectares qui sont dégradés par an, et sur lesquels l'État n'arrive à reconstruire que 30 000 hectares. Donc l'effort du gouvernement du Sénégal, c'est de faire plus de reconstruction que de dégradation. Au Sénégal, je crois que c'est comme dans les autres pays africains, la cause principale, c'est l'action de l'homme. C'est les hommes qui détruisent plus que ce qu'ils ne construisent. On coupe beaucoup d'arbres, on brûle la forêt et on ne laisse pas grand-chose. Ça, c'est un. Deuxième cause principale, c'est les changements climatiques. Il n'y a plus assez de pluie, il fait très chaud et le milieu se dégrade. Ça aussi, c'est un constat.
One aspect of this initiative that has proved very lucrative for many communities on the line between the Sahara and Sahel are food forests that also serve as a force of erosion control. These food forests are constructed with a half-moon water reservoir design, able to retain water and protect the soil. Another method that has been recently implemented is agroforestry, which combines trees and crops in order to increase the yield per land area. Agroforestry is an efficient method of restoring degraded land because while crops are able to make better use of resources, the tree roots act as a physical protection against runoff and improve infiltration. This prevents the erosion of fine dust particles that already cloud the air of the Sahel.
This isn't to say that the Great Green Wall is without its faults. The implementation of such a widespread measure is extremely costly, racking up over $3 billion in expenses so far, with billions more expected to be spent before the project is completed in 2030. However, these funds have been pooled from many international investors, preventing the financial strain from falling on a single group. This high cost is ultimately worth the effort when considering the financial benefits of the ecosystem services. Initiatives like the Great Green Wall are not limited to Africa. Considering the global threat of desertification, solutions like the Great Green Wall have found homes in places like China as well. China's 3 North Shelter Forest Program brought National Tree Planting Day to China, incorporating the public into its initiative. With 78 billion trees planted in just a few decades, China's success shows that desertification is a dangerous but not an insurmountable issue. Ultimately, the issue of desertification requires both mitigating its harmful effects and working to decrease the severity of its rapidly growing causes. It is important to note the disparity in resource use between higher income and lower income countries. According to the United Nations Global Resource Outlook in 2024, high-income countries use 6 times more materials per capita and are responsible for 10 times more climate impacts per capita than low-income countries. The Lancet Planetary Health Journal found that, though high-income countries represent only 16% of the world's population, they are responsible for 74% of cumulative excess resource use worldwide. Despite these intimidating statistics, citizens in developed countries have a unique opportunity to support more sustainable resource usage. Amidst climate change and global phenomena such as desertification, reforestation and cooperation are essential solutions. As desertification expands, new and more innovative restoration projects fiercely fight against it. Around the world, a green wall continues to secure its roots and flourish.